It's time now to fire up a really interesting motorcycle from the folks at Yamaha, the MT01. I say interesting because when was the last time you saw a Japanese manufacturer sleeve an air-cooled pushrod, fuel-injected V-twin engine, displacing 1,670 cc's, into a sport bike frame hung with a 43mm inverted fork, dual 4-piston radial mount front calipers, and track-ready radial tires? You see where I'm going with this? This is one freaky machine. But I mean that in a good way. Still not convinced? Well, you don't have to take my word for it. Here's what Ellen Foster had to say after spending some serious time booking it on the MT.
Well, Ellen, my hat off again to Yamaha for building this bike. It's future meets retro. You know, when we first saw it at the consumer show, everyone was just standing around gawking. And now I'm sure everybody at home is wondering, what's it like to ride?
It is fun. It is a hoot to ride. When you first look at it from a distance, it makes me think of something like Mad Max and the Thunderdome and that. You'd also think, oh my man, it must be incredibly top heavy in that. It must be hard to handle, this big massive tank and that, these V-twin engines down below. It is not. It is very nimble. The whole idea of them putting it on the sport chassis, I believe it's the R1 swing arm that they've got. It is so nimble to handle, back and forth, just flip it in. It is so smooth. It is, yes, it's very deceiving indeed.
It's extremely tall here, but I guess with that seat being as narrow as it is, no problem, right?
I couldn't believe it. It says it's 32.5 inches high. I don't believe that. I didn't measure it, but I was almost flat foot, you know, just 3/4 of my foot flat on it. Anytime we stopped anywhere, uneven ground, I did not feel it being out of control or you know, wanting to lean one way or another on me.
One thing that just jumps out at you when you look at this motorcycle, it's that motor. It's the Star Family air-cooled V-twin. Try to describe what that feels like.
Massive torque. Power band is between, they say, a maximum of 3750 in that. It runs as smoothly as from 2700 up to about 3400 RPMs and that. You keep it in that power band in your gear, it is super smooth. You wouldn't even know it's a V-twin. Very nominal vibration in that.
And plenty of stopping power with those brakes,
good brakes, good brakes. 4-piston front brakes and good rubber on it too. They have the Michelin pilots on it. Nice Sport Tour tire, which I am used to, so hug the corners well, no hesitation.
Clutch actuation, shifting, I found the shifting smooth.
Incredibly smooth, very smooth in that. Now for the clutch, I've got it in, being a small hand, woman's hand, I have it in. I wouldn't want it any further reach for me, but I'm sure for a man in that, they would like a longer reach. As far as the shifting, everything, very smooth, crisp, sharp, boom, 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 all the way up.
Tell us about the riding position and the wind protection.
With this bike, the handlebars are just enough forward, so you're not a lot of lean on your wrists or anything like that, and actually it wasn't too bad. Your feet are nicely tucked in. It's a nice distance between, for me at 5'6", with my inseam, between the seat height and the pegs and that being rubber mounted. I thought it was a very nice sitting position indeed. Yeah.
I think there's something about the way you sit very low in the saddle, this big, large area up here, and again with this here, I found I wasn't getting any buffeting at all. What do you think of the finish?
I like it. I think it is so cool. It reminds me of Mad Max. I like that futuristic style, very in your face, a real roadster. And I certainly got quite a few looks from that. I'm not sure if it was the size of the bike, and then when they realized I took my helmet off to put gas in it, that it was a lady riding it, or if that's what caused the looks. But
so was there anything that disappointed you?
Fuel tank. I personally tour a lot. I found I would love a 22-liter tank on this bike. Now maybe that would then make it top heavy and change the you know, the airflow around the bike and all that. So that was the only thing for me I had to keep an eye on. Don't know if I would want to be a passenger on this. This is a great one-up bike. A passenger could certainly go on it, but my inclination would be passengers do not apply.
Or just apply for a very short trip.
Very short trip, or be a very small, petite woman. Other than that, I think most motorcycles should be meant to be ridden alone anyways, and everyone should have their own, you know. So
there you go. So who do you recommend this bike to?
I am not a big person by any means, and I can easily handle it. But 5'5" and up in that, average build as I am, I think anybody could ride this and that. And if you had 1 or 2 years experience underneath it, you could certainly handle the power and enjoy the power that goes with that much torque, low down grunt. but that's what makes it fun.
I was going to say, that
Yeah,
must be the lasting impression,
yes,
right? Torque, torque, torque?
Yeah, absolutely. Sport, torque, and they're torque, sport. I'm not sure. I've seen it written both ways, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure which way Yamaha prefers you to say it. I say sport, torque myself because it is fun and it is sporty riding it that way.
Glad you had a good day.
Thank you very much, Dave.
I can
It's a
see you
pleasure.
smiling in that helmet.
Oh, always, always. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen.